All right, my next guest helped Michigan Democrats win control of the state Senate for the first time in nearly 40 years, and she wants to make sure Michigan is a key player in the 2024 elections. I am joined now by Mallory McMorrow, Michigan State Senator. State Senator, it's great to have you again. Thanks for coming back on the show. Let me start by talking to you about this gridiron speech. First of all, how did it come about? There's no way I delivered it as well as you did, but tell us about how it came about, and were you surprised to get asked?
I was really surprised. Al Hunt, who is a longtime member of the Gridiron Club, I did a podcast with him and James Carville months ago. And then out of the blue, we got an invitation in my email inbox. And one of my staff members asked what this was and if it was a big deal. And I said, yeah, it is. And we were thrilled to do it.
It's a good thing they didn't
honor.
flag it as spam, right?
Yeah, really.
So the gridiron dinner, joking aside, is really just one data point, really, in your rise in Democratic politics. I mean, we've had you on the show before. We've been following you very closely. You've raised more than $2 million this year. Talk about what you hope to do with that power and influence that you have accumulated. Let's talk about that first on a state level, and then what it means for your party regaining control in the state Senate for the first time in 40 years.
Yeah, I mean, the gridiron is a perfect example of everything we've tried to do with kind of this viral moment that I had back in April that I never asked for, but recognizing that we could use this microphone in this moment to do something really powerful. So it has been a continued point of mine to get the message out about how important state legislatures really are. We saw what happened with Dobbs and the fall of Roe. We've seen what has happened for decades with gerrymandering, the fact that Republicans took over 2/3 of state legislatures and gerrymandered the maps to continue to take control. So this was an opportunity to bring the attention down to where all of this work actually happens and do something huge. It was a long time coming, but in Michigan, we flipped the entire legislature blue for the first time in nearly 40 years. So going into 2024, when we've got divided Congress on the federal level now, and there's likely less that's going to get done, Kevin McCarthy already announcing he's going to, read the Constitution and hold investigations on Hunter Biden's laptop. But you look at a state like Michigan, and with a Democratic governor and a Democratic legislature, we are going to be the ones who are out there proving what it looks like when Democrats are in charge. And with Michigan now on the map as an early primary state, we are going to be the ones proving it out. And I'm really excited about that opportunity for all of us.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that specifically. I mean, you've said you want to make Michigan a key player in 2024. As you mentioned, it is possibly in the early primary states if that does get approved by the full DNC membership. What do you have in mind for Michigan now that it is fully controlled by Democrats? What do you want to see done?
We have to put into place everything that is building up for the past 4 decades. So right off the bat, Michiganders voted overwhelmingly to codify Roe to protect reproductive rights. So we have to get our abortion ban off the books and send a message to voters that we hear you. We have to amend our state Civil Rights Act to explicitly include the LGBTQ community. And we've seen just in the past few weeks, the rising rhetoric and the attack on the LGBTQ community. And then we've got to do economic issues. We've got to address school funding. We have to address economic development that is about supporting small businesses, businesses of color, and proving that when Democrats are in charge, we create opportunity for everybody, especially in a state like Michigan.
Yeah, and speaking of the economy, this past week you had President Biden in Michigan talking about domestic manufacturing and semiconductors. Talk to me about what it means to have the president come back to your state and these important issues for Michiganders. Is the economy going to be front and center now that the legislator is in Democratic hands with a Democratic governor?
Of course it is. It goes back to the old adage, it's the economy, stupid. And it always is. Michigan is the home of the Great Lakes and the American automotive industry. We are both. It is about protecting clean water. It's about transitioning into the future of manufacturing, electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, doing more of this manufacturing at home, and making sure that these are good union jobs, that these are jobs that are not just minimum wage jobs, that they're careers, that we are fulfilling the American dream in the way that Michigan always has. And it was really exciting to see him here again and to be part of that transition into the future where Michigan, again, as we're looking for where things are getting done for the next 2 years, it's going to be in a state like ours so that we can show what's going to happen and why we should be able to take the Congress back, as well as reelecting a Democratic president in 2024.
I have to ask you a personal question, if I can. Have you thought, with all of this spotlight and now the national attention on you, about your own future and how you can build on what you have done inside Michigan, perhaps at a more national level? Have you given that any thought, since we made the comparison to Barack Obama being the last state senator to address the gridiron?
I mean, look, I just got reelected for another 4 years with about 79% of the vote, which I'm really excited about. I'm grateful to all of my voters for putting their faith in me again. And this is an opportunity we haven't had in Michigan in my entire lifetime. And I'm somebody who fundamentally believes if we can do the work at home and we can prove it out, then my future is pretty wide open. But I'm focused here where it matters the most.
And you have a wide open invitation to come back at any time on this show. Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, thank you so much, as always. I greatly appreciate your time.
Thanks, Eamon.